What's up guys, Moonman here, and we are in Buena Vista, Georgia today to check out Edward Owens Martin's Pasaquan. He built this after being inspired by futuristic alien beings told him to build it, that he was himself a being from the future. Let's go take a look around, go maybe learn some things about it, and just let's see this beautiful art. Let's do it. It starts already on the outside wall of the main entrance here. You go through, is where it immediately already starts. You got these totems here. And these are painted and carved, or out of concrete, carved concrete. Let's go take a look.
We paint, not so much reconstruct because all that was kind of finished. There are some cracks that we're filling in or minor repairs, but for the most part, structurally everything's pretty sound. It's just the paint that needs to be.
So like the lady was saying that it's Columbus State University is who upkeeps this now, but Eddie actually, after running away to New York and growing up in New York City in the 1920s and inspired by all the art, he wanted to be an artist himself. And eventually, at some point in time, he had these fevers that caused him to have hallucinations of these people called pasaquoyans, who told him they were from the future, and he was too, and that he should build this art here. Here's this here. As you guys can see, all the detail is all around that here. It's very interesting. Here's a fireplace here. He inherited the house from his mother when his mother passed away. But yeah, he began to call himself after meeting the Pasaquoyans. Instead of Edward Martin, he became Saint E.O.M. He was a gay man. He did do a lot of things, disclaimer, that are anatomically correct. But one thing she was telling me that I did not know is that he actually, at one point in time, befriended the Reverend Howard Finster. And at first they didn't get along because Howard was very religious, you know, our good friend Howard Finster. You can find some of my videos at his Paradise Gardens and at the festivals that they dedicate to him. But they did eventually get along, and they did display their art together. Later in Eddie's life, he actually did have some things in some museums, and I think some of his things are in there today. There's a signature there from Saint E.O.M. But here on this coffee table, he's got these things here. Some actual paintings on canvas too. It's pretty cool. Very talented man. He said that he was a hustler. He learned tarots, and he would hustle the tarots, and he actually became known by Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter came here to Pasaquan to get his tarot read by St. E.O.M. And that's where Jimmy Carter introduced him to Howard Finster. This painting is like it takes place outside here at Pasaquan. We're gonna walk around out there and take a look at the outside as well in a few minutes. Here's a man. I can only film this much of him because, like I said, he is very anatomically correct. Here's this right here on this like little porch constructed here. It's very interesting. Did this one sometime in November 1971. Very cool.
Pretty sure that is true.
The top lining of this
But
are actually
I know it's what people before
snakes.
this place was restored, you know, and it was
Very interesting.
People would sneak
An anatomically correct little woman statue here. Look at this little guy. Oh my gosh. Oh, this way. Big Country said this guy looked like Nicolas Cage. Let me know what you think about that. So this totem is really cool looking. I like the yellow and red and white together. Really stands out here in the Georgia sun. These little suns, and it looks like it might be waves on top of this wall. Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Right here is a little, I guess it'll be like an all-seeing eye or something.
The Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus.
Yeah, that's
Very
usually
cool.
what they call it.
On this side of the wall,
It's painted.
it is painted, and I think this is outlined because it was on the other side to be painted too. A part of the restoration project. I don't think the wall is actually going to be white. I think it's going to be like that. Very cool. Little mask here on this wall. And this guy, he's got a smile only a mother can love. Very nice. Like a mountain and sky feature and some sun and things over top of this. Well, these trees lining this. Looks like almost like a hillside form or something. Look at this. Very cool. This one's kind of weird looking, but this one really caught my eye right here. It's got like this metal clad on top of its face here. They said that at one point to fund his art and to fund his living, he actually began to grow and sell marijuana. That was instrumental in allowing him to have money to be able to do things like this. This one's really cool. It's like meets up with some, looks like a planet into like sun split open with like these half moons and a man with another ironclad thing in there. And there is his signature again, saying E.O.M. And this snake on top has a little more color to it. So I think over in that section there's a little more restoration going on. This is already kind of been, which is really cool. They walk over here in the shade. I'm about to walk up in a second into this building that he created here on the property. But here is a Christian inspired cross. He wasn't exactly a Christian, he was a very spiritual man. He kind of marched to the beat of his own drum. And due to him living in New York City during his formative years, he really picked up on a lot of different things and had a lot of different world viewpoints that weren't this super, you know, common down here where he was originally from. Here it looks like it might have just been like a place to sit, but there's like almost like these like little suns, I think I'll call them little suns. If you turn over this way, there's a little scape. It looks like a road going over some hills into the mountains. All right, so it's got these little walkways here. We're gonna walk up this staircase. It's very ornate, very beautiful, very nice. And we're gonna walk, oh man, this door and all this is just made of metal here. It's really crazy, everything is actually. Let's go check this out. All right, as we open the door. Huh. It's colorful in here. It's actually given some weird kind of like light anomaly thing in my eyes. It's kind of weird. And there's a weird echo in here. But maybe at one point he stored something in here, or maybe there will be something in here at some point. But as of right now, it's just these paintings. This looks like it might be frogs, or this is like a turtle with a bunch of different heads maybe. This painting, it's outlined with people. Here's a view from the top while these bees are buzzing around me. But we did walk through here. We came through that house there. Not the whole thing. But as you can see, there's quite a bit here to see. So we still got a little bit of ways to go. Here's these really cool circular obelisk with a face on there. It's like a little shrine. And you can see it's leading up to like a really big sandbox. And I'd be amiss if I didn't play with St. E.O.M. sand. I would just be missing out on the real experience. That's history. For the restoration here, as this has got a really nice fresh coat of paint on there, but also this piece of wood here that is very new. Beautiful faces here. Oh, this one has actual like little rubies put into its face. So does this one. Like almost like flower hourglasses that line the bottom section here. Like that one a lot. It comes up to more of these like Native American style totems. Backside of it, I was looking closer into the detailed work. You see all the little etchings on the nose and the eyes and the brows and even down into the nostrils. It's really cool. It's all really ornate. It must have took him a long time. They said he would hire young black men in the 50s and pay them $10 an hour, which was kind of a lot of money in that time. He was not a prejudiced man. Like I said, he was a homosexual man, and he was not a racist man. He was actually very progressive for his time, and he was a very kind soul. Everybody who met him said he was a very eclectic, weird human being and individual, which is clear. But weird usually equals creative and good. So I can appreciate that because I'm weird myself. These guys on the wall all have these cone heads and whited out eyes. You see Saint E.O.M there. These snakes are white. Perhaps, pretty sure this wall is being restored just like this one. So it will be black probably too. Then this little walkway that would go into the house is pretty cool. It's very anatomically correct, but it almost appears as if these pasaquoyans or pasaquoyans are holding severed heads. That's really crazy, but it's really cool. Huh. Oh yeah, it was said that whenever they came to him, they were levitating. They actually didn't touch the ground. They had the powers to levitate whenever they came to him. So maybe that's why they're a little bit off the ground there. And you see if you just walk down the pathway, there's something just literally every little inch of these walls is painted and ornate. It had to take him so many years. They said whenever he passed away, what do you do with it? You know, some people in the town didn't like it. They thought it was haunted or demonic, and some people really liked it. And there was like a Pasaquan Preservation Trust put together by the Kohler Company, the ones that make appliances. The heiress to the Kohler Company actually funded a multi-million-dollar project to restore this. And so Columbus State University actually comes out here and does paintings in it and tries to keep it up after all these years. And here is another little building. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it's actually just a faux thing to cover up this big propane tank, the big gas tank. And the lady said we can come up to this and look at it, just can't go in. This building he created this one because in his lifetime he actually thought about what would happen if he passed away, who would take care and preserve this place. So he built this to have a caretaker cabin. And there's actually somebody who actually does live here and takes care of it. That's pretty cool. Later in his life, he actually ended up getting kind of sick, and he went to the hospital. They don't really know what it was. It might have been like a heart failure or some kind of kidney disease or something. And he really hated it in there. When he got out, he said he never wanted to go to that type of environment again. But his health kept declining. So one day he sent his helper away and to go get food in Buena Vista. And when he returned, he found a suicide note in St. E.O.M.'s body. And it said, "It's nobody's fault but my own. His sins are all his." And basically not to feel sorry for him. He went out on his own terms. And it's very sad, but Pasaquan, his wonderful creation and his legacy, it does persist. The way this building is built, you can't go in this one, I'm pretty sure. But it's built like a three-tiered one. Reminds me somewhat of like the folk art chapel at Howard Finster's Paradise Gardens. I lied, you actually can go in this building. Hey, Big Country. What's up? And this one is really cool and ornate already. The lady has glowing eyes here. But yeah, throughout this room, it's all these dancers. All these Pasaquoyan dancers here in this big open space area. And there's like what might have been like might have put like an altar or something here. Instead it was a Pasaquoyan right there. It's really interesting. Here's a little table here. It looks right out into that altar thing. Here's a picture of St. E.O.M. right there saying, "Please donate to Pasaquan." I think we're gonna do that. This one here has a restoration map of what all they're gonna do, and it tells little things of what they're doing next. That's pretty cool. And here's some old paints and stuff that probably was here whenever he was living here. I believe he died sometime in the 1990s. And this room is pretty open. Looks like this is part of some of the sculptures that he was doing. And then this looks like a half one that they might be working on right now. That they might be trying to figure out how to put up. And this one's totally different altogether. So these will probably just be displayed. They probably won't ever be out there to the elements. So there's a picture enshrined to St. E.O.M. right there. His people have lesson things, but he built these here to show these levitation suits. It's how the Pasaquoyans actually levitated. And he built suits, and people said he had a suit that he made himself, and they asked him if he ever levitated. And he said no, but he felt really light, but that levitation would be the way that a lot of people get around in the future. It says that here in this kitchen area, he would actually receive quite a bit of, he would hang out in here, but he received a lot of company here. And he'd hang out and talk with people in here and eat meals. He loved Southern cooking, and he would really dine out on it and invite people over to eat with him and just have conversation and talk about, you know, things of this nature and others. It's very cool. And here's some more. Here's another cross symbol with some more on top of it. Here on the back side of his house. Here's another snake on this wall that's also about to be restored. He did a lot of snake imagery. He really loved them. He had a really obsession with them. But even more so than that, this building right here is very common to see snakes inside. And that they think that could have been part of his inspiration. Was it he just living in a really snaky place and dealing with them a lot? Yeah, not a whole lot in this section. It's very, oh, this is just a random pillar with a nose. So he probably was building on this and working on it before he passed away. And they just left it the way he was, This is, I think she said this was the last building he built. So it never got finished. You can see all these etchings that never got painted. That's really interesting. And here's the outside of that building, and there's a little caterpillar crawling right there. I'll say E.O.M.'s work. Not quite a snake, but it does, I guess, crawl on its belly. And I guess it does give credence to make sense that this was the last part he did, because he doesn't really have a lot of coloring on this section. I guess he just really didn't get a chance to finish it. So that's kind of sad, but at least I think I like the idea that them leaving it the way it was to remember him in that way of what he was actually working on. That it was always a work in progress, and I like that. And here was St. E.O.M.'s carport. Honestly, probably one of the coolest carports I've ever seen in my life, if I do say so myself. And there's a little face on the side of this building here. That's pretty cool. At the bottom of this section, there's a lot of little eyes. This is back here at the front. I really like the yellow, it really pops. It's about 83 degrees today here in Buena Vista, Georgia. Perfect day for a Pasaquan visit. This one here on this wall being restored, this man holding the head of another man. It's pretty cool. This is the part of the video where I ask you, if you do like videos like this, or like traveling videos, go ahead and subscribe, because I post a video weekly from anywhere in this country. Said this room, the mirror room, he would use this mirror here to keep the door open and look out the window back there to see if anybody came in. This is where he did his tarot readings. And in these chests and things, he would actually keep his trinkets that he would sell, and his tarot cards. And here's some of his items right here, and here is a thing he used to ring up some of his sales. Pretty cool. And then here in the music room, it has the largest mandala of any part in Pasaquan. It said it might have been inspired when he saw the Aztec one, the one it's based on, in person on his only trip down to Old Mexico. Let's show this briefly, but remember that altar thing I showed you guys? That's him right there playing a drum on that. It's pretty interesting. All right, guys, that's it here from Buena Vista, Georgia, here at Pasaquan. It was a really fun experience. Sorry I'm a little under the weather, I don't know if you could tell, and it is kind of hot, I'm getting a little sunburn, but I had a lot of fun here. I've been wanting to come here for many, many years to see this creation for myself, and it's nice to see that some of the older videos you can watch of other people, it wasn't so well, restored as it is now. So I'm really glad that they've been doing this to it, and it preserves for many years. And go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share. I will come back. But Moon Man right now, he's out.